Hello, so today I'm going to go through worked examples. So I have work example 13.11. So this one here says the product of two consecutive even natural numbers is equal to 288. One of the numbers is x. Right, so then there's some words here that we need to understand what they mean. So product means to multiply. And then I have two consecutive even natural numbers. Okay, so consecutive means they follow each other. But because it says even natural numbers, that means like it would have to be like 2, 4, okay, 4, 8. They have to follow each other like so. And I'm also told that one of the numbers is x, okay. So the first thing I'm asked is write down the second number in terms of x. Well, because it's an even natural number, if my first number was x, then my second number is going to have to be x plus 2. Because imagine the first number was 2. To get my next natural even number, which is consecutive, would have to be plus 2. So 2 plus 2 would give me 4, and I'd have to add another 2 again if I had started like and so on. You keep adding the 2 to get to an even number. So that's my second number. Part B then says find the product of the two numbers in terms of x. So as I said earlier, product means to multiply. So I'm multiplying my two numbers. So I have x bracket x plus 2. X times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x. Part C says write down a quadratic equation in x that represents the above information. So I was told earlier that the product of these two numbers is equal to 288. So I have my product, which is x squared plus 2x is equal to 288. Because I want to make a quadratic equation, I'm going to bring over this 288. So I'll have x squared plus 2x minus 288 is equal to 0. Part D then says solve the equation to find two numbers. Okay, so I have a quadratic equation and we have dealt with the minus b formula. So if you struggle with these using the guide number method, you can use your minus b formula. But I'm going to do my guide number. So to get my guide number, I multiply whatever number is in front of my x squared by my constant. So I say 1 by 288 and I write down 288. Then I write down all the factors of 288 that have a difference of 2 that are going to make 2 for me. So I have 1 by 288, 2 by 144, all the way down till I get to 16 by 18. So I write down my 16x, my 18x. This sign here tells me that they're going to be unlike terms or unlike signs. So one of them is going to be plus and one of them is going to be minus. I want a plus 2x. So I'm going to put the plus with the 18, the minus with the 16. So I have plus 18 minus 16, which will give me 2x. Then I rewrite this term. So instead of using 2x, I'm going to use my minus 16x and my plus 18x. I have x squared minus 16x plus 18x minus 288 is equal to 0. Then I'm going to do, this is factorising it by grouping. So I look at these two, do they have something in common? Yes, they do. I take out my x, I'm left with x minus 16. Then I look at these two, these two have something in common, they do. They have 18, and I'm left with x minus 16. Remember, these two brackets have to be the exact same. So I have x plus 18, x minus 16 is equal to 0. So I'll have x plus 18 is equal to 0, I'll have x is equal to minus 18, x minus 16 is equal to 0, and I'll have x is equal to 16. Well, first of all, I was told two even consecutive natural numbers. Minus 18 is not a natural number, so we cannot accept that. So I'm going to have my x is 16, and then my second number is going to be 16 plus 2, which is 18, and that's my answer. Okay, so here I have the height h in meters of a ball above ground level when thrown from the top of the apartment block is given by the formula. So I have h is equal to 32 plus 12t minus 5t squared, where t is the time in seconds after the ball is thrown. So t is my time, h is my height. I'm asked what is the height of the ball after 2 seconds. So wherever I see a t, I'm going to sub in 2. So I have, write down my formula, h is equal to 32 plus 12t minus 5t squared, and I'll have then t is equal to 2, so I'll have h is equal to 32 plus 12 bracket my 2 minus 5 bracket 2 to be squared. So I have 32 plus 24 minus 20, and I get, when I work this out, my height is equal to 36 meters. So at 2 seconds the height will be at 36. Next one then, I'm asked, what is the height of the ball at the exact time when it is thrown? Okay, right, so the exact time when it is thrown, it's at 0, no time has passed. Okay, so I have h is equal to 32 plus 12t minus 5t squared. So I have h is equal to 32 plus 12, bracket my 0, minus 5, bracket 0 to be squared. I get my height is equal to 32 metres. Part C then says, find the time it takes the ball to hit the ground. Okay, so when a ball hits the ground, the height is going to have to be 0. Okay, there's going to be no height in it, it's at the ground level. So I then sub in, wherever I see h, I sub in 0. So I have 0 is equal to 32 plus 12t minus 5t squared. That actually is a quadratic. I'm just going to rearrange the way we usually see it. So we have our something to be squared, the constant, the variable and constant. So I have minus 5t squared plus 12t plus 32. So I just rejiggled it around. And remember, we always deal with our variable to be squared to be positive. So I'm actually going to multiply across by minus 1. So I'll have 5t squared minus 12t minus 32 is equal to 0. And now I'm going to solve this using my guide number method. So using my guide number method, whatever number is in front of my t squared, I multiply that by my constant. So I have 5 times 32, which gives me 160. I then write down the factors of 160 that will have a difference of 12, so that I can make 12 out of them. So I'll have 1 by 160, 2 by 80, 4 by 40, 5 by 32, 8 by 20. So 8 and 20 actually have a difference of 12. So I'll write down my 8t, my 20t. Right, so as previously, this minus here tells me that they're going to be unlike signs. One of them is going to be positive, one of them is going to be negative. I want a minus, so my bigger number, minus 12t. Then I rewrite this sum up here using my new, so instead of minus 12t, I input these here. So I'll have 5t squared plus 8t minus 20t minus 32 is equal to 0. So this method now we have factorising by grouping. So I'll take out, what do they have in common? They have a t, and I'm left at 5t plus 8. Then I take out, what do they have in common? I take out my 4, and I'm left with 5t plus 8. Remember these two signs sign here. So I then have t minus 4 and 5t plus 8 is equal to 0. I have t minus 4 is equal to 0. I have 5t plus 8 is equal to 0. I have t is equal to 4. And I also have 5t is equal to minus 8, and I get t is equal to minus 8 over 5. Because we're dealing with time, we can't have a negative time, so the only answer I can accept is t is equal to 4. Final example I'm going to go through is the number of bacteria n in millions counted in a sample of food is given by the formula nc is equal to c squared minus 6c plus 9, where c is the temperature of the food in degrees Celsius. Okay, first part, it says how many bacteria are present at a temperature of 5 degrees Celsius. So wherever I see a C, I'm going to sub in my 5. So I write down my formula, so I have c squared minus 6c plus 9. And I'm subbing in a 5, so I have 5 to be squared minus 6, bracket 5 plus 9. So 5 to be squared is 25, minus 30 plus 9, and I get 4. So I have 4 million bacteria are present at 5 degrees Celsius. Then it says, at what temperature will no bacteria be present in the sample? Okay, so no bacteria present in the sample, I'm going to put 0 in for my temperature. Okay, so I have c squared minus 6c plus 9, and I'm going to let that equal to 0. So I have c squared minus 6c plus 9 is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. I'm going to solve it using my guide number method. So I get whatever number is in front of my c squared by my constant. So it's 1 times 9, which will give me 9. Then I write down the factors of 9 that will add to make my 6. Okay, so I'll have 1 by 9 and 3 by 3. Okay, so I'm going to have to use my 3 and my 3. So I write down 3c, 3c. This sign here tells me that both of them are going to be the same, so both signs, so they're either going to be 2 pluses or 2 minuses. I want a minus 6c, so that means these here have to be 2 minuses. So I have then c squared minus 3c plus 9 is equal to 0. Then I'm going to factorise it by grouping. So I look, do these have anything in common? Yes, they do. I take out my c, and I'm left with c minus 3. Then I look here, do these two have anything in common? Yes, they do. They have a 3, and I'm left with c minus 3. Okay, so the answer then is c minus 3, c minus 3. So I have c minus 3 is equal to 0, c is equal to 3 degrees Celsius, where there will be no bacteria present in that sample.